All right, guys, ingredients you're going to need: a couple small potatoes or one large potato, a sweet potato, a carrot, minced garlic, egg replacement or tapioca flour, protein pasta, nutritional yeast. You're also going to need some salt and pepper and a non-dairy milk like oat milk, soy milk, coconut milk, whichever one you have or prefer. First thing you're going to do is peel all the vegetables and chop them up into chunks about the same size. Once you're done with that, you're going to boil some water on the stove. You're going to boil all of the vegetables and potatoes until they're nice and soft and tender. I boiled mine for about 20 minutes or so on high. While you're doing that, you can also cook up your pasta following the pasta directions. Mine was the protein pasta, so I cooked it for the 5 to 7 minutes. I drained it and I put it aside for later. Once the vegetables are cooked, you're going to take them out into a bowl to cool with a slotted spoon. You don't want to dump the water because you're also going to want to save the water they were cooked in. You're going to need 1.5 cups of the starchy water that the potatoes and carrots were cooked in. And you're going to allow everything to cool before putting it in the blender. All right, so here we go. We're putting in our starchy water first. Then we're going to add all of our vegetables. It's okay if they're warm, but if they're piping hot when you blend it, your blender is going to explode. So make sure that they're not like steaming hot when you put them in the blender, so that you don't end up having to clean them off of your ceiling later. Trust me, it's no fun. I've done it. All right, so you're putting all these in here. I know this looks really weird and I've never done this before, and I was a little skeptical about how this was going to end up tasting like cheese, but I promise you it really does. All right, so then here we are. We're going to add 1/2 cup of your non-dairy milk. I used oat milk because it happens to be our favorite and what I had in the house. So you're just gonna, I put too much right there, 1/2 cup in. Next, we're going to use 1/2 cup of the nutritional yeast flakes. That's actually what gives it its cheesy flavor. Who knew? Nutritional yeast is super good for you too. It's really high in B vitamins. Next is a teaspoon of salt. I recommend adding a little more. I didn't, but in the end, I ended up salting mine afterwards because it just needed it. And then you're going to add a spoonful or two of your either egg substitute or tapioca flour. Either one will work. This is our minced garlic. You're going to add 1 teaspoon of minced garlic. You can also add a little bit of pepper if you want to. And then you're just going to blend it until it's all smooth and there are no chunks left. All right, here we go. So see, it comes out like this really cheesy texture. It actually is kind of stringy like melted cheese. It is the strangest thing. So you just want to mix it in with the pasta in a large bowl. Like Michaela tasted it and she was like, oh my God, it tastes like cheese. I cannot even explain this. How is it possible? I don't know how it's possible, but it is. So make sure you add a decent amount to the pasta because you're going to stick it back in the oven and you don't want it to dry out. I put mine in a cast iron pan, but you can use any oven safe pan that you have. So you're just going to spread it all out in the pan nice and even. See, it even has a cheesy consistency to it. I have no explanation for this, but it's super delicious and it's so good for you. All right, so now I'm adding some panko breadcrumbs to the top. And you're just going to sprinkle those all over the top as much as you want. Some people like a lot of them. Some people don't like a whole lot, but I just kind of coated the top with it. Then you're going to put it in the oven at 350 degrees until it gets all nice and brown on the top. And then I did actually stick mine under the broiler for a little bit because I wanted to get those breadcrumbs nice and toasty. But this is what it looks like. And it tastes like the cheesiest, fattiest macaroni and cheese. And it actually is not, doesn't have any fat in it at all. So it's kind of amazing. And it makes a lot, so I saved my leftover cheese sauce, and I'm going to use it with some plant-based crumbles, and we're going to make plant-based nachos tomorrow for lunch, so you'll have leftovers. All right, guys.